All right, call this meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Director Lopez, can you take roll call at this time?
Mr. Vice Chair, I sure will. Commissioner Stinson. Here. Commissioner Montoya.
Here.
Let's see, I'll start over here. Commissioner Bacon.
Here.
Commissioner Bernstein.
Here.
Commissioner Mayers.
Here.
And Chairman Al Metcalf. I don't know if did he send us an email?
He did. He left a voice message saying he'd be here.
Okay, so maybe he'll be a little late, but he said he would be here. And Vice Chair Tom Scott.
Here.
Mr. Vice Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, old business. Cool PZ 24-03 15.
We have to approve the minutes.
Oh,
Mr. Vice Chair, the approval of the minutes, probably.
I was just testing you guys. All right. Assume that everyone read the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from July 10th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right. Cool PZ 24-03-15, a major site plan application submitted by Iplin Consulting on behalf of Coolidge 60 LLC, Coolidge, Arizona Apartment LLC, for a 328 unit of multifamily apartments on 20 acres plus or minus 18.2 net acres within the 60-acre plus or minus Mesquite Manor pad, as located approximately 1/2 mile south of the southeast intersection corner of Coolidge Avenue and Skousen Road, Coolidge, Arizona, AZ APN number 209-25-0040. Okay.
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, if you recall, this item was before you the last meeting, and they were going to bring back some examples and some solutions to the fencing issue that you brought up, and so they're here to do that. And if you'd like, with your permission, we'll have Phil give you a little update, just bring you back where we were.
Okay.
Phil?
Go ahead, Phil.
Hello. Basically, it's just a quick re-summary. This is the location within the city of Coolidge, some of the areas unhighlighted here that are the county. Once again, our general plan land use designation is urban neighborhood, as are some of the other surrounding areas. Zoning is PAD. The area is surrounded by other agricultural or other PAD designations or other areas within the county here that are unhighlighted. As we had seen last week, these are photographs of the location at 3 different spots, basically sliding from the north of the site, the middle of the site, and basically at the southern edge of the site, all fairly similar here with the desert landscaping. The location relative to the overall project itself for this major site plan. The called out exhibits basically showing the orientation of the buildings, circulation, parking, the amenities, things of that nature. The represented buildings of what the architecture might look like. And then the primary thing for the discussion of this evening is, as you can see on the overhead exhibit here and in your packets here, the applicant has added columns along these portions of Skousen and Gibson Road, in between them and as connected to the buildings around the entire site, basically closing in the entire site except for the access points coming off of Skousen Road here. You would have this detail of columns here with wrought iron fencing as the solution here for on-site contingency, and then if there happen to be wildlife out here, things of that nature. So no children getting off-site, no critters coming in. And since they went this far, they just went ahead and showed an exhibit relative to like the dog compound and the fencing that they would provide for that, since we were talking about the concept of fencing, and a similar wrought iron type of fencing that would go around the pool. So that is the primary discussion this evening, so I'll keep it brief there. If the chair would have the applicants add anything else to it or ask questions, I'll turn it back over to you at this time.
Okay, do any of the commissioners have any questions before I get started? Okay, I have a few questions on the buildings. So you show a fence going around the perimeter, which we asked for at the last meeting. It looks to me that the fence goes around, and the red markings on our papers here are where the pillars are. And then there's wrought iron in between. But when you get up to where the apartment buildings are, it appears that there's no fence along the backside of the apartments. Is that correct?
Greg Davis with iPlan Consulting here. To answer your question, Commissioner Scott, that is correct. So one of the concerns we had was, putting a wall or fence in front of the windows and blocking visibility and making it feel like a compound or prison. So our designers came up with the concept of taking the wrought iron fence and turning it into the building so that that acts as the wall. So we're still having that security, that limitation of access, but we're keeping the view corridors open so that as the public, as you drive down the street, you can see the not a wall, and as our residents, they don't have to look out at a solid wall, 5 feet from their windows.
Are there any doors on that side of those apartment buildings?
Commissioner Scott, there is not. So all the doors access into the interior of the facility.
All right. Do we have any other comments from commissioners? Okay. Is there anyone here that has, in the audience that,
Mr. Chair, you can open it up for anybody within 300 feet
okay.
around the property, if you like.
Is there anyone here in attendance that lives within 300 feet of the property that has any comments that they would like to share from the podium? Okay. All right. No comments from anyone?
Mr. Vice Chair, we'd like to add on the stipulations, even though it's required by the planned area development, that they underground the power lines that are in front. We talked about that last time, I think. It's part of the PAD requirements, but it's not in, so we thought we'd make sure it's in the motion. It's already that way. It'll be better if it's on the record. I think they're aware of that. Yeah.
So you want the power lines to be in the ground and not on poles?
Yes, sir.
That would, okay.
Yeah, along Skousen.
Okay, if we don't have any more discussion, I'll close the open meeting part. All right, do I have a motion concerning this application?
I'll make a motion to accept Cool PZ 24-03-15 to include the power poles along Skousen Boulevard to be put underground? Was that?
Yes.
that-
Along with the stipulations on page 8. I believe
Yep.
it is.
Along with the stipulations
In the staff report.
in the staff report. Okay. Thank you.
I'll second.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Doug made the motion.
Nice job. That was good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, moving on here to new business. Tool PZ 24-06-28, preliminary plat application submitted by Greg Davis of iPlan Consulting and Chris Moore of Sunrise Engineering on behalf of Toltec Point Partners LLC for 55 residential lot subdivision of Toltec Estates within the Toltec Point planned area development, a 70-acre net site plus or minus parcel located northeast of the intersection corner of South Toltec Buttes Road and West McCartney Road, APN number 509-50-015 and 509-50-015F. Phil?
If I may, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, just wanted to really just quickly point out, if you notice the map, this property is directly to the east of the existing Saddle Creek project that's out, it's in the county, but it's a really nice 1 acre. So this is really almost an extension of that. It's not part of that development, it's part of another PAD, but they're 1 acre lots and they're going to be custom homes, from what we understand. So Phil will go ahead and explain that. So it's an exciting project. We haven't had a lot of activity out in the area, but this is on McCartney.
That's from the dairy farm?
No, no, there's not a dairy farm. This is on the main road that goes to the northern part of Casa Grande. It's the main road that's where the lights are, south of the college. Yeah, and so that. Okay, now, I'd like Phil to go ahead and begin.
Okay. As you can see here, the light blue areas are the city of Coolidge. Any of the unhighlighted areas are the Maricopa County area. Huh? What did I say? I'm so sorry. All right. Last month, I already made the joke about the radio station, so we know where that goes. Unhighlighted portions are Pinal County. Thank you. Our land use here, general plan shows it as urban neighborhood, as in quite a bit of the surrounding area, a little bit of agricultural designation here. Once again, this area is within the county. We call it out as rural ranchette, which is essentially what we're kind of getting here, but within the PAD. Our zoning calls it out as the planned area development. As you can see, several areas in and around that are also PAD, or, well, this is the primary project right here. Other areas within the county out in this location. This is the correct photos. I provided a update to each one of you here. As you can see, it's pretty much similar to the Mesquite Manor. We have an agricultural field here at different times of the year for the season. This one is looking generally northeast from the intersection of Toltec and McCartney. This one is moving in the general direction northwest from the right-of-way of West McCartney Road. You can see the mountains in the background here. And this is basically north of the site looking southeast from North Toltec Buttes Road. Excuse me, got a frog. This is some exhibits from the original Toltec Point PAD that was approved in 2007. This exhibit up here basically shows what they contemplated as the phasing. It was always intended that the estate lots here, as they were called out at the time, would be the first phase to develop. This was the initial land use, as it's kind of called here, or I should say lot distribution consideration. Back then, as it's reported in the staff report here, they contemplated like 99 or 100 half-acre lots. What we do have, north being this way here, just a little bit easier of a graphic to read since it's colored in, is actually the estate lot equivalent of about 1 acre per lot, 55 in total. You can see the internal streets here, which will be private. The applicant has agreed to make the local street width standard the same as we do for a public street, so we'll have the same width of that. And you can see the open space areas basically that are like the buffers for along Toltec Road here and also down along McCartney here. This is mostly the engineering stuff, but just to share this information with you here, here's the cover page and all the call-outs. The internal streets will be private, as I said. And here, basically, you see the engineering layout for the preliminary plat with the internal streets, the lots in their numbering sequence, and then the called-out tract parcels relative to the open space sort of buffering. So it's fairly straightforward. We're getting basically a very enhanced, lower density project from what actually could be proposed. The proposal has come about from a unique set of circumstances involving the county and us as far as septic goes versus sewer. And so this is actually a project that we look forward to for a very long time, and hope that you guys have enjoyed looking at it as well too. So at this juncture, the applicant and other applicant representatives are here to answer any other questions that you might have. So I turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair, at this time, or Mr. Al, since he's here, so. Or however.
All right, thank you. Do we have anybody that's here that received a notice that lives within 300 feet of this project that would like to come to the podium here and state your name and your address, please?
Hi, my name's Deanna Dewan. I have the 320 north of the property. I'm excited that it is a acre lot, so that is great. That's what we want to see around us. That's great. Our concern, and I know that it's going to be dealt with in the next phase, but we just want to know if Tall-Tech Buttes is going to be taken to Woodruff. That's a concern to us because of all our farm equipment going down that road. Honestly, we don't want to see that necessarily. Also, and I don't know in the planning phase, is Bartlett Road, if that's ever planned to be a road in Coolidge. I have no idea if it's planned, but it goes right by my house within 10 feet, so that's a concern. So it's just little concerns that we want to see answered maybe in the next step.
So your question was, is Toltec Buttes going to be paved all the way out? Is that what your question is?
To Woodruff, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's already widened right here when they did Saddle Creek. We're just seeing if from here to here it's going to also come through. They might not. I don't know. I just want to have that answered. And if Bartlett right here is ever going to be a road, just want that consideration.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I can answer that question in part. As is typical for a preliminary plat, the portions of the project that front the roadways from which it will access, in this case McCartney, and then also Toltec Buttes Road, they'll be required to dedicate and improve the half-street section fronting that property. So from the point of where the red line is that goes beyond it, that is the Toltec Buttes Road alignment, there won't be an initial improvement for that roadway there because that's not fronting the project, so that wouldn't be required. On our alignment for our general plan, it only basically calls out McCartney and Toltec. It doesn't actually break down to like a smaller kind of collector element like Bartlett would be there. So any other type of improvement which would not be required by this project would be a different discussion for other developments or something down the line, so.
But we may require the half street, right, on Bartlett?
From what Bennett indicated, no, because it's not actually part of the project and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's a midsection road, so
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
part of the alignment on the master plan, or excuse me, the general plan for the city.
Yeah, and we did have our Public Works Engineer Director look at this, so The fire department did also. So the main roads, as Bill mentioned, are the McCartney where the entrances are, and then the side road where the entrance goes against the houses. But at this point, this is the only phase that's being developed. We don't know in the future if the rest of it will be developed because this is the only part we have that has water and has an assured water supply. The rest of it does not. So, that's why they're developing this portion of it. Even though it's part of the whole PAD, that's still, this is a portion they came to us and talked about. We've been, 6, 8 months? We've been talking. More than, actually more than that. I guess. Yeah, they originally just came in and talked, and then the densities were too high. We felt it was better to meet the densities of the property directly to the west, so they kind of keep that same custom home type 1 acre. And we thought that would, for the area, we thought was better, so they agreed. And so now they're here with this. So this, for those of you that are new, this preliminary plat, if you so choose to approve, then they have a year to come back and submit a final plat. It goes to the city council. That's how the process works. And then, and that would go through with the, all the assurances that go with the project to make it go forward.
So at this time, the northern part of this development that's on borders Bartlett Road won't be improved because there's no exit onto it,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah, it doesn't lead anywhere, so it would not be improved. So it hopefully won't bother and impede the farm in any way.
In the general plan, just looking in the future, I assume Bartlett Road will have some improvements in the future? Is that true?
Yeah, it
Or will
could.
it just be like dissolved?
Hard time though, because there's a hole on the ditch, that you have to go really up high into that to get the
Right.
tank off.
And
It is, it's pretty.
Yeah, and it's not called out in the general plan.
Okay.
So the only way that road would be improved if the landowners to the north decided to do something with their project that would fall in line with this, and then that would be your project, and then there would be a
they
street
have a
probably
certificate,
there.
right.
So that would, only at that point.
So the location at hand does have a certificate, 100-year certificate,
It's right here, yes,
and the remainder of the property doesn't? Is that correct?
correct. At this point, they do not. I know there's been a lot of activity to work on water rights and things in Pinal County and then converting farm to housing, but that's a whole different, process. So so this is what has water now, so.
Okay. And then each individual lot will have its own septic tank?
That's the way it's designed at this point, and the applicant's here. Yeah, because our water line we're about 2 miles away. Sewer lines, yeah. Water lines is right on McCartney from Arizona Water, but the sewer lines themselves are probably 2 miles away. It's the lift station over on Signal Peak. So it's about 2 miles, right?
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to approach the podium, share their thoughts?
And Mr. Chair, we have the applicant here, if you'd like to hear from them.
I would like to hear from them to confirm what Bill and them are saying as far as their plans.
Okay, good.
Sure, absolutely. Again, Greg Davis with iPlan Consulting. Address for the record is 3317 South Higley Road in Gilbert. And staff is 100% correct as far as the intent of the project. The rest of the PAD cannot be developed today. There's no water certificate, so this is really the only phase forward. So even though it was approved at 100 units, in order to solve the wastewater issue, we had to come up with a new plan, and that's why we've changed it to 55-acre lots, which satisfies the county's requirement for the septic. Arizona Water is committed to the water supply for the property, and so we're taking this step with this pre-plat so we can go forward and develop. And our intent is to move right into final plat and CDs, so it's something that we plan to go forward right away. And as far as Bartlett alignment, there's no right-of-way existing to the west or the east, and because of some of those issues, that's why Public Works didn't feel it was going to be something that was going to be required of us. We do have some drainage coming across the street, which is why we have the drainage basins, which are 50 feet wide along our west boundary and along our north boundary. So we do have some flexibility along there.
And there are 2 entrances and 2 exits to the property, correct?
Commissioner Scott, you absolutely correct. We have the entrance out to the west at Toltec Buttes and south on McCartney. And so we'll be making the full dedication and the improvements to both those streets.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
I have a quick question. The sections that's, the chunk that's taken out of the southwest corner, it says neighborhood commercial in a different phase. Can you explain what that possibly will be?
Sure, Commissioner Bacon. We don't control that piece, but that's what it is designated as part of the original PAD. And neighborhood commercial is typically services that only provide light intensity uses to the neighborhood, such as maybe a convenience store without, gas, or inline suites that have neighborhood services such as alterations or shoe repair, those types of uses. So staff may elaborate on that if they want, but it is not meant to bring in uses that create a lot of traffic, like shopping centers. Uses like that will not, are not typically permitted in commercial.
Yes, Commissioners, we would look at compatible uses to this. We have had a few people come in, but their ideas weren't compatible, so we didn't support that. So we'll look at things that complement the 1 acre lots and neighborhood, and those would come before you if, in a site plan, if they meet the zoning. So, but so far, we haven't had anything come up that meets the requirements, right? Nope, we haven't seen anything.
What would be some items that might be compatible in that setting, being that's in residential on either side? Just curious.
We can look really quick in the zoning code, but it would be light, what,
Yeah, it'd be, Commissioner Scott, if I might, it'd likely fall under our neighborhood business zone, which are arts and craft studios, bakeries, banks, barbershops, beauty parlors, candy and ice cream stores, convenience store not more than 3,500 square feet, florist, gift shop, newsstands, restaurants of not more than 3,500 square feet.
I think you needed C2 or C3 for a gas station.
Okay. Good. All right, we don't have any other people that are here that live close to it. We'll close the open meeting part of the meeting. All right, commissioners, any other questions that you might have at this time?
Just so I can understand with the utilities and everything else, that's going to be underground as far as the final when it comes to us.
Yes, it would be.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm. I just didn't see it in the staff comments or anything like that.
That's something that usually comes with the final plat
Yeah.
itself, so.
I just wasn't seeing it. That's why I just make sure I'm understanding.
Okay, any others? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Pool PZ 240628 as presented with staff recommendations.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That one carries. All right, you're welcome. All right, that concludes our meeting. Do we have any reports from Director Lopez?
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, just a real quick update. keep it short. We're still working with Procter and Gamble to start their lay-down yard, and then they're going to do some electrical switching, and that'll serve the site. So that'll start off of Erica Road first, and we've processed that. So we anticipate them hopefully bringing the site plan before you before the end of the year. We're not sure. They haven't told that. So, but they are moving forward. They just do a lot of internal review of their plant to make sure they can handle some new products coming out potentially. So we know it's Downy dryer sheets, a couple other projects that they have that they're bringing forward. Also, I just wanted to give you an idea. We've got a lot of activity out at the Coolidge Airport, the municipal airport. So right now, in the past, we didn't really have that many employees out there, but between E-Cube, Safford Aviation, we have about 149 employees without the sheriff's department. When you add the 30 personnel with sheriff's department that's out there, they have helicopters, some other, we run up to about 179 employees at the airport. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to just share that with you. It's really good. And we've talked to the airport and E-Cube about maybe some sort of place to buy sandwiches and maybe set up that little store out there or something that people can go with a card, get in and get a microwave without having to staff it. I don't know if we have enough people there yet. Somebody to be out there all day. So it's something we've been talking to them about doing out there. And so we'll work on that. Cabot is expanded. They've got some additional rooms that they've built out. They're doing like automated industrial technology, some drone pilot training, all that. It's pretty exciting. And I know on the automated industrial technology, my grandson's in that. And so I asked him how it's going. It's pretty cool. They're working on dashes on cars. I think it was a Tesla. So somehow they got a hold of a Tesla and they're wiring the dash. It's pretty neat. So that's exciting for them. And let's see what else we have. So those are just some of the things that are happening. And moving forward on a lot of, we're going to have some other projects back to you. So we anticipate, if everything goes well, the way we planned, we'll have another preliminary plat, Skousen Farms PAD, hopefully. That's out in the area of Skousen and Vakayan. So that'll be good. And then probably another PAD coming to you down south that came before you before, but they made some modifications to it. And hopefully you'll see it in a different light. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's all I have, Mr. Chair, at this point.
Somebody had asked me about, that they had read something about we were gonna do a dog park.
We are working with Mayor and Council's blessing. With it?
Talk about it offline.
Oh, yeah. It's not agendas. I'm sorry. We can't. Yeah, so I can.
Not an official one.
I can bring that up unless I do it as an update.
You already discussed.
Yeah. So, I can bring it up offline.
Okay.
Thank you. Or maybe next time I'll bring some more information at the meeting so I can update you. It's. Yeah. Okay.
Wendy's is still coming, I guess?
What's that?
Wendy's?
Wendy's, yes. They're working on, I think they finalized we haven't issued permits, but we're really close.
I think Dennis said that they had printed the final approvals today or something.
Yeah, we were on the last review, and so we should be able to issue permits pretty quick. And it's up to them when they start. I think they wanted to underground the electrical. I hope I'm not going too far off base, but that's coming, still coming as far as, I can give you a better update next time.
Okay, I was just curious. I was gonna say Burger King just to throw you off, but
No, not,
Save
that
that
one
for
we
another
haven't, no.
Well, they just reduced their Frosties to $1 now.
Oh, that's good.
all right.
That's all I have.
Appreciate the information.
You're welcome.
Okay. Call to the public. Is anybody that's seated in the audience from the public that would like to come up to the podium? Share any information with us?
Come on, Tom.
Okay, well, I'll give you a shot there. All right, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. Do we have to vote
I
on that?
move, yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I move we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?